Greetings, friends. Tonight I'm going to take you through a bit of an experiment. I'm going to be taking a brand new data set that I haven't seen from MakeoverMonday. I'm going to be first taking you through that data set and exploring it using Power BI, which I'm quite familiar with. And then after that, I'm going to be taking you through a series of prompts that I have created for ChatGPT 4. These prompts generate a series of Python scripts, which we can then run on the local machine against the same data set and output some more exploratory analysis. Now, this is a data set that I've not looked into yet. I have designed these prompts based on some of the previous MakeoverMonday data sets, but I'm interested to see how this one turns out. I'll put some links in the description below if you want to know more about ChatGPT prompts or alternatively about Power BI as well. I'm not going to go into depth into those prompts in this video. Maybe if there's enough interest, I can make a video about creating the prompts and kind of how I got there as well. Well, I hope you enjoy the video tonight. Let's get into it. We're going to be doing Makeover Sunday, I guess. So makeovermonday.co.uk/data. And we're going to be looking at the newly released data set I've got up here. So this week they're looking at Melbourne's pedestrian counting system. I'm going to compare this in Power BI and then use ChatGPT and Python to visualize it. And we can see how that turns out. So what we've got here, looks like we've got the CBD of Melbourne, where I happen to live, and we've got some visualizations here. So what's going on? So we've got the time counting up through the day. I'll just pause that for a second. What's this guy? Hang on, we've got a legend in the bottom left here. So yellow, above average, 10% or more. White is average, and then the below average, 10% or more. Okay. And then I guess this, oh, that's cute. I guess this little line here is how many people? It's not especially clear. This is pretty tall. Some of these are pretty tall, but they're just below average. Okay. Sure, it's generally 2019. What do we got to? How are we? That's January. Let's have a look at June. How are we today? It's Sunday the 4th. 2 a.m. Not much, as you'd expect. Later in the day, right? Oh, let's just go back. What's that? There must be something on at the football, I guess. Yeah, look at that. So they've come in after 3 o'clock, and then they've come out again 7. There you go. So everyone's coming here to Southern Cross Station out of Etihad Stadium. It's pretty interesting. You can select different sensors. CBD, there we go. Oh, that's cool. Right, so I like that. That's pretty cute visualization of the city of Melbourne. All right, so let's jump into the data itself. Now, we can come here to the link and you just make a free account, sign in, and you can download that file. So I've already downloaded it. It's quite big, so I'm not going to download it again via the recording, but I'll jump into Power BI. So get data, CSV, grab this on Melbourne pedestrians. Now, I always like, as a general rule, to go and transform the data just so I can change any data types that I might want. So I'm just going to hit transform here. Let's come and look. So I've got a nice ID. We've got a date time, which we might need to split out. But we've got year, month, day, weekday. Well, we've got time already, so we're probably going to leave that. That'll be fine. Sensor name and description, hourly counts. It's great to note all of these are 100% valid. They have great cleanliness on this data. Are there any types that we want to change? I think at this stage, it all looks pretty good. So I'm going to go and hit apply. Now this may take a moment, as it is 600 megs. Wait for it to crunch. Finally, 4 million rows loaded. All right, so we've got our hourly counts. That's going to be our main thing. Now, first thing, so we've got latitude, longitude. Let's just set them up as the data type so that the map knows. And we should just be able to pop them straight on. Now, it doesn't like that. Average, don't summarize. Don't summarize that in. Rightio. Then we're going to make it be, so hourly counts, make those bubbles bigger. And then we'll change some of these settings. Let's go for a dark today. Might actually go for this yellow and purple theme. Change these colors up. We're going to make it a gradient. We don't need latitude, we want hours counts. Make high value, nice purple. Here we go. Good for colorblind people. Here. Radio. Some large counts over the time period. That's okay. We're also going to come to our hour counts. Just pop a comma in there just to make that large numbers better. Now I'm also going to put in some cards, I think. Actually, we'll go multi-row cards just so we can get those top values. So let's have a look at our top sensor, actually, I think. So new hourly counts again. Take the sum. We're actually going to do a top end, top one by the hourly counts. There we go. So Town Hall West. This guy here. That's got our highest of all time. Just one. Couple of visual effects. Let's give it a border, just a nice light grey. Then we're going to do a couple more of these. So, and then this time, what should we have a look at? I think we just do the weekday. So you got to turn off that one. Just put top end for this. Once again, we'll do the sum of hours. So that's Friday, but let's actually have a look at what the median is. So the median amount of traffic for those hourly counts is 209 on a Friday. Then actually what we might do is also get our top date and time. So what have we got? So date time, pop that in there. Move that. Once again, top end filter, top one by our hourly counts. But we don't want our median, we want our sum. Well, 24th of the 9th, 2010, 12 a.m. That seems suspicious. Let's go have a look at that day. 24th September, was it? And what's happening here? Looks like they may have an error in their data. This looks like all the time on that day is set to midnight. Sensor relocation updates. Very strange. All right, well, we'll leave that there for now. Now let's have a look what else we've got. Now I do like a good stacked bar chart, so let's put that on. And let's go to our sensor names. and then we'll say our accounts, right? Then we're going to go good mate color gradient again. Our accounts, pink and yellow, and get some data labels happening too. Pop them inside. Beautiful. All right, so that's looking pretty good. You can now filter between those. You can start to explore your data a bit. Chuck another border on this one. And then I think we're also going to get a percentage split for them. Yeah, good. So I'm going to use a tree map. I find that's better than the actual 100% bar charts. So tree map. And this time I actually want to see the day of the week. Let's say we want this as percentage of grand total. Right, interesting. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, makes sense. And might also just put a year slicer in here too, just to have a look. How does that data change over the years? So if we drag it up here, oh, there you go. So you can actually see these dates have changed. I don't know whether that's to do with new sensors being installed. Saturday has really changed. Interesting little insight. And I'm going to show you my favorite visualization for exploring data as well, just quickly. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to grab the key influences visualization. Let's make that full screen. And now I'm going to pop that hourly counts in the analyze section. And what this is going to do is do a linear regression in the background. It's going to show us what it thinks is statistically relevant within the data. So let's just start popping stuff in. So we want explain by our date time, our day, let's say our month, our name, a weekday, and our time, or year as well, definitely, yeah. So we'll just let that crunch the data for a sec. And what have we got? So we're saying that the hourly counts increases if the sensor lane is Flinders Lane, Swanson Street West, Town Hall, South Bank. Also, this is interesting if the time is between 10 and 20, so between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m., right? That's where you get the most traffic. And the date time is before the 14th of March, 2020. Right, that's interesting because that's when the COVID lockdown started. And what caused it to decrease? So we can let it crunch again. If it's below 6 a.m., makes sense. Or if it's between, the 14th of the 3rd, 2020 and the 28th of the 10th, 2020, when the core lockdowns were in place in Melbourne. That's probably a lockdown too. Or if the summer year is between 2019 and 2021. Very interesting. You can also come here to the top segments and I can have a look at what makes it low. So once again, we see that daytime or it's below 6 a.m. Or then we can go to high. So we've only got two main segments here. This is using k-means clustering on or before the 2020. So we keep seeing that. So we didn't really learn anything more than we learned from this one. And that's I think good enough to examine in Power BI. Okay, so now that I've given Power BI a run, what we're going to do is we're going to run my series of prompts in ChatGPT and the Python code that it creates. So I'm going to We're just running this in Jupyter Notebooks, Python, so ChatGPT 4. Just put this in straight as is, and it's going to create our ingestion code for us. GPT-4. Just busily generating the code. Here we go. So we're just going to come down here, paste that over the top, grab our little file name, execute the code. May take a couple of moments to run. What we can do now is we can grab our second prompt here, head back to ChatGPT, just duplicate that, another GPT-4, paste that in. Now we need to get those stats and we need to put it in here. Let's see. So we want it to output 30 different analytical statistical figures and print those descriptions for us. Let's go. Now, obviously, if you've got more columns or a really large amount of characters, it's not going to fit inside the data frame. So you need to bear in mind, select only the relevant columns in that case. And off it goes, busily creating some analysis for us. Total number of records, unique sensors, average hourly counts, total hourly counts. There we go. And give us a bit more explanation, but we can just copy that code, come back here, and execute. Okay, so seeing as we had that error before, so I'll just show it again. So when I run this, saying value type and date time, and problem is here, month, day, year. So we've got Australian dates here rather than American dates, and that's what's giving us the error on the date time. So what we're going to do is just avoid it entirely. So I've come back to it. I said, instead of using that date time, can you please use the columns year, month, day, week, day, and time, which we know were there from previous work in Power BI. And then the happy little bot has come and generated our analysis again. So now we can pop it back in and we can execute that. And off it goes. So we're already finished. Back to the text editor here. So you can see all of these different stats that it's outputting. Fantastic. Now we can grab this prompt. And so in here, we're giving it another pasted cell. So we're going to text, Control A, paste it again, and let's go. Now, once again, if you've got lots of long text data, you may not be able to do 30 different analysis because it'll output, paragraphs of text. Here we go. It's giving us a little summary. Unfortunately, it hasn't listened to my instructions here. So I wanted to print a detailed paragraph of the summary in natural language, but instead let's put it here. So while it's going, we may just copy this. I'm just going to wait for that to finish. And then we're going to get a little resolver to check if it's done the right thing. So let's check. Does it recognize its error? So it's still ignored its summarization. Here we go. We're going to copy this. Interesting that it has picked up that COVID influence as well. Just going to copy all of this out. So after some debugging and some stumbling through the Python, I have got those visualizations to work. So this dataset contains information about pedestrian movement captured in 73 unique sensors located across the city. The sensor with the highest average hourly count is sensor 4. That would be better if it had the name. It's worth noting the dataset has the missing values, particularly in date time and installation date. Sensor names, weekdays, months with the highest frequency are Berkshire Mall South, Saturday, and October, respectively. Now the average hourly counts across different hours of the day. Yeah, that's pretty clear, showing that dip for 6 a.m. And we've got peak here, well, that's like 8 o'clock, most people coming into work. And then I guess people are going out for their coffees, or maybe people are coming in on the weekends. And then you're seeing peak in the early afternoon, or the, I guess, 5 p.m. probably, and then trickle off into the night. Quite a simple plot, but good. Average hourly counts for each day of the week. So we've got Friday being the biggest overall. And then Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday with, I'm not sure about this ordering. Friday, Monday, need some sorting there. Total hourly counts per sensor. Once again, this would be better if it was the actual sensor, but I'm glad that it's restricted it to only being these, top 10? Top 10 sensors with the total hourly counts. And it's not clear, so 188. Also sensor, but better to have the names, better to have it be sorted. Average hourly counts for each year. So here, this is a good graph because you can totally see that drop off between 2020 and 2021 as we got locked down here in Melbourne. And then it started to pick up there in 2022. Be interested to see if that trend has continued into 2023. There's a real missed opportunity in the Power BI. We didn't put any time series. Average hourly counts for each month. It's quite interesting. We'd have to do some more deep dives to understand why that happens. Maybe the shopping season, obviously here, coming into December, but what's causing this February, March, April spike here? And here we've got the correlation between different numerical columns. So this isn't likely to show very much of anything because the only relevant information we've got here is hourly counts. Now this could be good in other situations with other types of data, but I don't think it's relevant in this case. Missed opportunity. And here, this one's pretty good. It has picked up the COVID-19 issues, where you can see that there's many more data points here with low numbers for the hourly counts in 2020 between the curve. It's probably not the best way to show the distribution, but I do like that it picked it up. So as we've seen here, at least with my skill set, it's still better to be using Power BI to do this analysis, this exploration. But I believe that as the tools improve, as we get access to things like Copilot within Microsoft Fabric, I think we'll really see this type of exploratory analysis be extremely simple. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little experiment tonight. We got some brand new data from MakeoverMonday. We put it into Power BI. We did some exploratory analysis. We then took that same data, took it into a Jupyter notebook with some prompts and ChatGPT. We ran that Python, got some visualizations in the end. Check out my links in the description if you want some more information about ChatGPT or Power BI. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter. And I hope to see you in the next one.